The next collapse won't be decided by bullets, bunkers, or even gold. It'll be decided by something far smaller: seeds. Most people laugh at the idea, tossing them in drawers or ignoring them on store shelves. But when the trucks stop, the lights go out, and the soil is the only thing left to trust, seeds turn into survival currency. One handful can grow meals that outlast months. Another can be traded for medicine, fuel, or even protection. And yet, most seeds sold today are dead-ends hybrids that won't regrow, or weak strains that collapse with the season. But hidden among them are a few varieties so powerful they can keep families alive long after shelves are stripped bare. These are the seeds preppers guard like treasure, the ones that quietly decide who eats and who starves. And tonight, we reveal 9 survival seeds that could become more valuable than gold itself when the world begins to crack. Number 1. Wheat seeds. Picture a field of golden wheat swaying in the wind. To most, it's a postcard image. But to anyone who understands survival, it's more than beauty. It's bread, security, and leverage rolled into one. And in collapse, wheat seeds may be the most underestimated treasure you can store. For centuries, civilizations were built on this grain. Empires rose where wheat grew, and armies marched because loaves fed them. A single harvest turned famine into a feast. But today, most people have forgotten how vital wheat really is. Shelves have replaced fields, and packaged bread hides the truth. Without seeds, the chain breaks instantly. The survival power of wheat seeds lies in their flexibility. Grind them into flour, and you have bread, pancakes, even porridge. Boil the grains whole, and they become filling meals. Ferment them, and you can stretch calories further. Each handful of seeds carries dozens of paths to survival. And it isn't just food. Wheat straw insulates shelters, feeds small livestock, and even fuels fires in emergencies. Every part of the harvest carries value. That's why storing wheat seeds isn't a backup plan, it's a foundation. Now consider barter. In collapse, most families will hoard cans and packets, but they won't think of planting. When their shelves are empty, hunger drives desperation. That's when the person holding wheat seeds doesn't just have food, they have power. A bag of seeds could trade for medicine, tools, or protection, because seeds don't just fill bellies, they promise future meals. For seniors, this edge is priceless. Even if heavy labor isn't possible, guiding younger hands to sow, harvest, and bake turns knowledge into leadership. In a world of confusion, the one who provides bread becomes the one others follow. Wheat seeds aren't just another crop. They're the root of civilization, the backbone of survival, and in collapse, the currency no one can counterfeit. And while wheat anchors survival, corn takes it further, turning energy into the next hidden fortune. Number 2. Corn seeds. Imagine the sound of corn crackling on a fire, the smell of roasted kernels filling the air. For most, it's comfort food, fairground snacks, or summer grills. But in collapse, corn stops being a luxury and turns into raw survival fuel. And the power is hidden inside something small enough to fit in your palm: the seed. Corn has been the backbone of survival for civilizations across the Americas for thousands of years. Entire cultures thrived because a single seed grew into a stalk bearing hundreds more. That multiplication makes corn one of the most calorie-rich, high-yield crops you can grow when everything else runs short. The versatility is unmatched. Dried kernels grind into flour for tortillas and bread. Roasted corn provides instant energy. Boiled kernels stretch into hearty meals that fill stomachs fast. Even livestock can thrive on it, turning grain into meat, milk, and strength. Every use stacks on the last, transforming corn from a crop into a survival engine. And it doesn't stop with food. Corn stalks can be burned for fuel, used as bedding, or broken down into fodder. Even the cobs become fire starters. Nothing is wasted, and in collapse, waste is death. But the real weight of corn seeds comes in trade. A single bag of dried seed can plant acres, feeding families for months. To someone starving, that bag isn't just food, it's the promise of a future. In desperate times, promises hold more value than coins. That's why corn seeds can trade like gold, or even higher. For older survivors, this crop carries another advantage. Corn doesn't demand delicate care. With basic guidance, younger hands can plant and harvest it easily. That makes it the perfect bridge between knowledge and labor, letting seniors lead while the strong do the work. Corn seeds aren't just calories, they're energy, trade, and survival multiplied. And once you've secured corn, the next step builds on it: beans, the protein-rich partner that turns meals into complete nutrition. Number 3. Bean seeds. Think about the comfort of a warm bowl of beans, simple, filling, and packed with strength. In normal times, they're just pantry staples. But in collapse, beans transform from background food into the backbone of survival. And it all starts with the seeds you choose to store. What makes bean seeds priceless is their dual power. First, they provide protein, the one nutrient hardest to replace when meat becomes scarce. Every serving delivers the strength your body needs to keep moving, repairing, and resisting sickness. For seniors, that protein isn't optional. It's the difference between maintaining health and watching muscles waste away. Second, beans enrich the very soil they grow in. Unlike most crops that drain the earth, beans fix nitrogen back into it. That means every harvest leaves the ground more fertile for the next planting. Its survival compounding on itself is food today and stronger fields tomorrow. Few crops can claim that advantage. Versatility only deepens their value. Beans can be boiled into hearty stews, mashed into spreads, or dried and stored for years without losing potency. Even their leaves can be used as animal fodder. Nothing goes to waste, making them a zero-loss investment when collapse forces hard choices. Now picture the barter table. Imagine others clutching empty cans while you hold a bag of bean seeds. That bag doesn't just represent meals, it represents health, fertility, and renewal. To someone desperate, that's worth more than cash, gold, or fuel. Seeds don't just trade for food, they trade for futures. The psychological edge is equally powerful. When panic rises, being the one who can cook a protein-packed stew or guide younger hands to plant the next crop makes you indispensable. Leadership often belongs to the one who feeds others, and beans make that role possible. Beans aren't humble. They're hidden power, protein, soil, barter, and resilience woven into one seed. And when beans secure strength, the next seed secures energy storage, potatoes, the calorie-dense crop that multiplies itself underground. Number 4. Potato seeds. Picture a single potato pulled from the dirt. To most, it looks ordinary, maybe even boring compared to colorful fruits or leafy greens. But hidden inside that rough skin is one of the most calorie-dense foods nature has ever given us, and in collapse, potatoes can mean the difference between surviving and starving. The magic of potato seeds lies in multiplication. Plant one piece, and it grows into a cluster of tubers. Each harvest expands your supply, turning a handful of seed potatoes into hundreds of meals. No flashy packaging, no preservatives, just quiet abundance buried beneath the soil. Calories are the first survival currency, and potatoes deliver them in bulk. A single medium potato carries energy that keeps the body moving, muscles working, and the mind sharp. When shelves are empty and energy is scarce, potatoes fill stomachs faster and longer than almost any other crop. For seniors, this steady fuel is critical. Weakness, fatigue, and health decline all hit harder without dense nutrition, and potatoes answer that need. But the value doesn't stop there. Potatoes adapt to rough soil, cold climates, and limited care. They grow where many other crops fail, making them the ultimate resilience crop. And because they can be boiled, roasted, mashed, or dried, they provide variety in meals that would otherwise feel repetitive and bleak. Now imagine their role in trade. Families without reliable calories will give almost anything for a basket of potatoes or, better yet, a sack of seed potatoes, promising future harvests. In barter economies, that promise of security turns into leverage worth more than gold or silver. Psychology deepens their strength. While others panic at shrinking rations, you calmly unearth a meal hidden in the ground. That confidence spreads to your family and community, proving that security isn't luck, it's planning. Potatoes aren't humble side dishes. They're calorie vaults, survival multipliers, and trade power wrapped in brown skin. And when potatoes guarantee energy, rice steps in as the global grain that keeps billions alive across every continent. Number 5. Rice seeds. Across continents, rice has carried civilizations through famine, flood, and war. From Asia's terraced hillsides to America's southern plains, it has fed more people than any other crop in human history. And in collapse, rice seeds reclaim that ancient role, not as a luxury, but as the backbone of survival. The strength of rice lies in its density. A small bag of seeds produces fields of harvest, and each grain carries calories that keep bodies moving long after other foods are gone. When stored dry, rice lasts for years without spoiling, quietly holding energy in every kernel. That makes it one of the most reliable lifelines when shelves are stripped bare. Nutrition adds another layer. Rice may seem plain, but paired with beans or vegetables, it creates complete meals that fuel endurance. It's light on the stomach, easy to digest for seniors, and adaptable to countless cooking methods: boiled, fried, souped, or even ground into flour. Every form stretches survival further, but rice is more than food. It's a trade. In times of scarcity, few things carry as much universal value. Across cultures, rice is instantly recognized, instantly trusted, and instantly desired. A sack of rice seeds becomes more than planting stock. It becomes a currency no one refuses. When desperation rises, that sack can buy medicine, tools, or protection, leverage that paper money will never match. Rice also thrives in varied environments. With careful water management, it grows in paddies or dry fields, giving flexibility where other crops fail. That resilience means families with rice seeds don't just hope for harvest, they plan for it. The psychological power is just as real. While panic spreads and cupboards empty, the one holding rice seeds isn't waiting on luck. They're planting certainty. And certainty in collapse is worth more than comfort in its leadership. Rice seeds don't look like treasure, but they are the quiet empire builders, the calorie vaults, the trade stockpiles that turn fear into control. And once rice secures the table, the next seed, squash and pumpkin, step in to provide storage crops that carry survival through the long months ahead. Number 6. Squash and pumpkin seeds. When other crops fade with the season, squash and pumpkins step forward with quiet strength. Their seeds hold the power to grow fruits that not only fill plates but also last for months without spoiling. In collapse, that durability isn't convenience, it's survival stretched through the hardest stretches of the year. Squash and pumpkins deliver bulk calories in a way few crops can. A single plant can produce heavy fruits packed with starches, fiber, and vitamins, turning one harvest into weeks of meals. For seniors, the soft flesh is easy to cook and digest, offering steady nourishment without strain. But the true value lies in storage. While leafy greens wilt and fresh fruits rot quickly, squash can sit in cool, dry conditions for half a year or more. That means harvest in autumn continues feeding families deep into winter, when fields lie barren and options disappear. In collapse, months of extended food security are priceless. The seeds themselves add another layer of strength. Roasted pumpkin seeds are rich in fats, magnesium, and protein, the very nutrients often missing in emergency diets. What looks like a snack today becomes vital survival fuel when resources thin out. Barter makes squash and pumpkin seeds even more powerful. Families with nothing but cans will eye your stockpile of long-lasting produce with desperation. A single pumpkin, capable of feeding several mouths, becomes trade currency equal to medicine, firewood, or tools. A bag of seeds promising dozens of pumpkins next season? That trades like treasure. And the psychological impact can't be ignored. Few sights bring hope like rows of orange pumpkins or the heavy weight of squash pulled from the ground. In times of fear, abundance restores morale. That morale is fuel just as real as calories. Squash and pumpkin seeds aren't just about survival meals. They're time-stretching crops, nutrient stores, and barter leverage wrapped in thick skin. And once they secure food through winter, the next category of seeds, medicinal herbs, steps in to heal bodies and protect health where modern medicine no longer exists. Number 7. Medicinal herb seeds. When pharmacies close and shelves stand empty, pain, fever, and infection don't pause to wait. In collapse, medicine becomes rarer than gold, and every cut or cough carries a risk. That's where medicinal herb seeds turn from gardener's hobby into one of the most priceless survival tools you can store. For centuries, before pills and prescriptions, herbs were the frontline defense against illness. Families brewed teas, crushed leaves, and boiled roots to ease pain and fight infection. That knowledge, nearly forgotten today, becomes critical the moment access to modern supplies disappears. Consider basil and oregano. Beyond flavor, they carry natural antibacterial properties, helping wounds heal cleaner and meals resist spoilage. Mint calms nausea and soothes the stomach when contaminated food strikes. Chamomile relaxes the body, easing anxiety and aiding sleep, something more valuable than people realize when fear and exhaustion rule every night. Then there's echinacea, known to strengthen the immune system, and thyme, used for respiratory relief. These aren't exotic luxuries, they're practical, proven remedies that can be grown right outside your door. A handful of seeds can grow into a medicine chest that lasts season after season. Barter value multiplies their importance. While others scramble for expired pills or pay desperate prices for black market medicine, you hold seeds that regrow, replenish, and restore. A small pouch of herb seeds becomes a trade item equal to food, tools, or fuel. And dried herbs, once harvested, carry the same weight as medicine itself. Psychological strength may be the greatest gift of all. In collapse, fear spreads fast when sickness strikes. But the ability to brew a calming tea, ease a cough, or clean a wound with natural antiseptics turns panic into trust. The one who heals becomes the one others follow, and that respect carries power. Medicinal herb seeds aren't side notes, they are resilience planted in soil, healing written into leaves, and hope growing quietly even when everything else falls apart. And once health is guarded, nutrition returns to the spotlight with tomato seeds providing vital vitamins and flavor where bland survival diets wear thin. Number 8. Tomato seeds. Across kitchens worldwide, tomatoes quietly sit at the center of meals. They bring color, flavor, and nutrition that almost no pantry can replace. Strip that away, and survival diets turn bland, weak, and dangerously incomplete. That's why tomato seeds rise to near the top of the survival chain not as garnish, but as lifelines. The strength of tomatoes lies in their nutrition. Packed with vitamin C, potassium, and antioxidants, they strengthen immunity and fight inflammation. In collapse, when infections spread faster and medical care disappears, those nutrients aren't just healthy extras, they're frontline defense. For seniors, they also support heart health and digestion, two areas most at risk when stress and shortages strike. Tomatoes also transform meals. A pot of beans turns into stew with tomato base. Rice stretches further with sauce. Even wild greens taste bearable when blended into tomato broth. That versatility means tomato harvests not only feed but uplift, keeping morale high when diets feel repetitive. Preservation multiplies their value. Tomatoes can be canned, dried, or turned into paste, locking flavor and nutrition into jars that last through the winter. Unlike many crops that spoil quickly, tomatoes become survival stockpiles, holding both energy and taste long after harvest. And then comes barter. In a world of plain rations, flavor itself becomes currency. A jar of sauce or a pouch of dried tomatoes trades higher than raw calories because it restores dignity as well as strength. Seeds for next season trade even higher, promising not just food but meals worth remembering. The psychological impact is undeniable. Bland diets drain morale, and low morale weakens survival. Tomatoes bring color back to plates, comfort back to meals, and hope back to communities. That hope is as powerful as calories because it gives people a reason to push forward. Tomato seeds aren't small luxuries, they're nutrition, preservation, and trade rolled into one crop. And once tomatoes secure meals and morale, sunflower seeds step in not just to feed, but to create vital oil and energy, the true gold of survival trade. Number 9. Sunflower seeds. When most people think of sunflowers, they picture fields of yellow swaying in the wind. Few realize that inside every head lies one of the most valuable survival resources, seeds that don't just feed, but power entire communities. In collapse, sunflower seeds rise above the rest. The first edge is nutrition. Dense with healthy fats, protein, and essential minerals, sunflower seeds fill the gaps most survival diets leave empty. While grains and beans provide calories, sunflower seeds add the fats that keep brains sharp, joints strong, and hearts stable. For seniors, that balance can mean the difference between resilience and decline. But their real strength is oil. Pressed sunflower seeds create cooking oil, a survival resource as critical as food itself. Oil preserves other foods, stretches calories, and fuels lamps or stoves when electricity is gone. Few seeds can turn into both meals, and energy sunflowers do both. Every part of the plant carries value. Stalks provide fodder, fuel, or even makeshift building material. The flower itself draws pollinators, boosting other crops. Sunflowers aren't just a food source, they're a survival ecosystem in a single plant. Barter power pushes them to the top. A jar of sunflower oil trades higher than almost any single food item because it multiplies the usefulness of everything else. A pouch of seeds promising fields of future oil, that's currency more stable than gold. And the psychological weight seals it. In collapse, when days turn gray and hopeless, sunflowers stand tall, bright, and full of promise. Planting them is more than farming, it's planting morale. Sunflower seeds aren't snacks, they're nutrition, energy, trade, and hope bundled in one. And in survival, that combination is priceless. You've just seen how seeds, the smallest things most people overlook, can decide who goes hungry and who builds security when everything else collapses. While others chase money that loses value overnight, smart survivors hold the only real currency left: food, medicine, and the power to trade. Every packet of seeds is more than a garden, it's protection for your family, insurance against hunger, and leverage in a world where shelves stay empty. Miss them now, and you'll wish you had them when it's too late. But here's the truth most won't tell you. Collapse doesn't send a warning. It arrives quietly, like a switch flipped in the dark. The only difference between panic and calm is what you prepare today. And preparation doesn't start when everyone else is scrambling. It starts now. If this opens your eyes, don't just walk away. Hit subscribe so you never miss the survival knowledge that keeps your family one step ahead. Smash that, like to spread this warning, because the more people prepared, the fewer you'll have to fight tomorrow. This channel isn't here to scare you, it's here to arm you. With every video, you'll discover tools, tactics, and truths that others keep buried. And in the days ahead, knowing even one of them could save your life. So take the step most won't. Protect your family, claim your security, and join the community that refuses to be caught off guard. Subscribe now because the next collapse won't wait, and neither should you.